only faded. No, I'm not the type to let my heart beat still. I just need somebody who can.
Yo, what's up everyone, it's Blue Nova and I'm here to bring you guys a new tutorial on how to get vocal quality and vocal effects like Brakence. This is actually an original piece. I'll put a link in the description with the beat and the hook together. If you guys don't know who Brakence is, I'm also going to link his music in the description. His music is very crazy, it's really creative and abstract, so I want you guys to check it out as soon as you can, and it'll probably also influence your music too. So what I'm going to do is do this tutorial using Waves plugins and just do the whole breakdown. So first thing I'm going to do is just turn off all these effects, and we're going to work with the lead vocal. My bad, you're going to see all these labeled as lead. That's because I really just copied and pasted a lot of these over, so that's why you see it like that. But what I'm going to do is just play the lead vocal. Let's just select it from the beginning. And let's just mute my tag right here. So right click to solo it. And I'm just going to go down these effects. So with Brakence vocals, most of the time his vocals are usually thick and full. So that's what we're going to try to emulate. The first thing I have right here is just auto-tune, just correct my vocals. Right here I'm singing in C sharp and minor, and I have the retune speed to around 10. It's actually kind of a lot for some people's voices, but I put it around 10 for me. So this is what it's gonna sound like.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond and love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing now.
So after that, we're gonna move into the next thing, and I'm actually gonna try to move pretty quick with this because there's a few effects on here. So the next thing we do is just compressive vocals with the R compressor, and I'm just bringing down the threshold to where it's hitting the lowest part of my vocal. My ratio I usually set around 2 to 1. For most vocals I usually keep around 2.2. For the attack, I usually keep my attack pretty fast, which is 14.9, and the release right here is at 75.5. So this was gonna sound like with the compressor.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond and love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing. Now I realize.
After that, we're gonna move into the next thing, which is gonna be an REQ6 stereo by Waves. And what I'm doing, just rolling off the low end and a little bit of the upper low end frequency. So I'm just cleaning that out. And then we're also boosting around in the AK region just for the vocals to have some clarity. And you can see the values all right here. Now I'm going to play with the EQ.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond and love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing. Now I realize I was only faded.
So after that, we're going to move to the next EQ. Now I bring in a second EQ just to boost up some more of the clarity. And like I said before, Brakence and his vocals are usually, you barely hear any high end presence. His vocals aren't usually sharp, but this is what we're doing. And then I'm going to show you guys later how we're going to make it sound a little bit more softer. So these are the values that I'm using. I'm also just rolling off some more low end. Not too much, but just to make sure if the first one didn't get it, we're doing it again in a second. And we're just boosting some more right here in the upper 2K region. Well, right here in the upper 3 to 4K region. That's where we're boosting. You can really just see all the values of how much I'm boosting it.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond and love invaded.
After that, we're going to use a de-esser stereo. And what I'm doing, just taking away the sibilance of my vocals. So I'm bringing down the threshold to where it's taking care of that. And also with the de-esser, it's also going to eliminate some high end frequency if we're pushing it a lot. So just keep that in mind.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond and love invaded.
And without it.
Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing. Now I realize I was only.
Now, next thing we're going to have is going to be an L1 limiter by Waves. And what this is doing is just making the vocals full. We're dropping down the threshold to -3, bringing the release down to 0.01. And that's something I usually always do. If you see my tutorials using a Fruity limiter, I always bring my release down because I don't want the release to affect the natural sound of the vocal or any kind of sound. So I usually bring it all the way down. So with the threshold, I'm bringing it down to -15.5. Now this value can vary. This isn't like a all work for all kind of thing for your threshold. I'm just bringing it down to where my vocal is hitting the lowest part, and I'm just making sure with the ceiling, it's just gonna make sure it's stacked to where it's at -3.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond,
really
a love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing.
So you can see that the vocal is peaking at -9 decibels. And after that, we're gonna add a C4 stereo. Now what this is a multi-band compressor by Waves, and this is what's gonna help us eliminate some of the high-end frequencies so that we're getting a similar sound to Brakence. And that's really all we're doing. We're just getting this band right here in the 6,000 region, and we're just compressing it down.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond, a love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing. Now I realize I was only.
And after that, the very last thing is some reverb. Brakence in his lead vocals, there's usually not a lot of reverb. It's very minimal. So what we're doing is just bring the wet level down to 4. And these are the settings. I don't want to just run through everything and talk about it, but this is what you're gonna get.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond, a love invaded.
And the reverb tail, like the timing of it is very short, so you don't want to have it too much. So you can also bring down this wet level a little bit more, just so that it's not a little bit too flooded, because like I said, he doesn't have too much reverb on his lead vocals.
All I ever needed was some confirmation. Found a bad diamond, a love invaded. Never thought you'd be the one I'm chasing. Now
after that, we're gonna get into the cool part. The effect, a lot of people have been wondering on how he does it. What he does is he sings in a very high-pitched voice, really just singing in high notes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sing 2 different takes. So that's what you see right here. This take is recorded. I recorded one, then I went ahead and recorded another one. So these aren't both the same. These are both 2 different takes, but they're both being sung in high notes. So I'm gonna play the first take, and the first take with the high notes. What you're gonna do is want to right click, go to File, say Mixer Track State, left click and hold it, and you can drag it onto the next mixer insert. So it's gonna have the same exact effects. So the difference in the high note, what you want to do is just roll off the high end presence, and you're gonna roll off some more of the low end. The reason why we're doing that is because we're having 2 of these and we don't want it to clash. So with the second EQ, all we're doing is just rolling off a good amount of that frequency right here, and that's what you want to do for it. The same thing is going to apply for the second one, and there's also going to be some more multi-band compression. So with the C4 stereo, these are the settings that you want to have in order for it to mix well. You're having 2 of these vocals playing at the same time, so you're going to want to roll off around in the 8K region. And what we're doing is just smashing it down. We're compressing it all the way down, so that's taking care of it. So this was gonna sound like.
No, I'm not the type to let my heart be still.
And also on the low end too.
I just need somebody who can keep me chill. You won't show me something that you can't unveil. If I ever settle.
And right here, well, first of all, go into the first stack. What we're doing is panning it 50% to the left. So that's how you're hearing that same similar sound that Brakence used in his songs. His vocals are heavily panned to the left and another to the right, if not multiple. But for this one, we're gonna pan 50% to the left and then another 50% to the right. So as long as you have these settings for the first one, then you can use it for the second one right here. So playing it both together, this is what it sounds like.
No, I'm not the type to let my heart be still. I just need somebody who can keep me chill. You won't show me something that you can't unveil.
And then just hearing the left one.
No, I'm not the type to let my heart be still.
Then the right one.
I just need somebody who can keep me chill. You
then
won't
together.
show me something that you can't unveil. If I ever settle, hope your love don't kill.
So that's pretty much it on the master channel. What I have here is nothing so far. What I usually do on my master channel, I add some type of brick wall EQ. So what I'm using right here is a Fruity Convolver, and what it's doing is just gonna cut the frequency to 15K. You can cut it to 16K, but I usually like to cut mine at 15K, just as my preference. Aside from that, what I also did was added a Fruity Parametric EQ too. And what this is doing right here, just boosting a little bit in the 13,000 region, just because I wanted a little bit more clarity. I wanted a little bit more high end presence, just because that's what I like. But you don't have to have this. You don't have to keep it on there. And the very last thing is just adding a L1 limiter. With some of Brakence songs, it sounds like there's a lot of clipping going on, especially when the 808 distorts. But that's something I'm not doing in this kind of mix. I'm not really trying to have the entire mix clipping. In a future tutorial, I might do that. But for this one, what I'm doing is just having an L1 limiter, bringing down the threshold to -3 because I want the mix to be a little bit more full, keeping the ceiling at 0 decibels. And this is just making sure the entire mix isn't going past 0 decibels right here. With the -3, all we're doing is essentially boosting it by 3 decibels. And with the release, we're bringing it down to 0.01. And that's pretty much it. There's a Fruity Convolver right here because I added a kind of reverb effect on the entire master in a section of the entire mix. So I'm gonna play that all together, and this is what it's gonna sound like.
No, I'm not the type to let my heart break still. I just need somebody who can keep me chill. Show me something that you can't unveil. If I ever said I hope your love don't care.
Now playing this end part, I also had some other filler vocals that I added towards this section.
Only faded. No, I'm not the type to let my heart beat still. I just need somebody who can keep me chill. You want show me something that you can't unveil. If I ever said I hope your love don't kill.
So that's pretty much it. For Brakence lead vocals, you just want to kind of have the mix fairly simple. I know there's a lot of effects going on here, but the key thing is really to have more of a soft ended mix, not too much high presence, and just to make sure you're just panning your vocals hard left and hard right. That's something he does in a lot of his songs. So if you liked it, go ahead and thumbs up the video. I'll also put the vocal presets in the store. Most likely the vocals probably won't be in the folder, just because I'm also selling the hook online too. But you guys will be able to get the sound effects on there. If you need your songs mixed and mastered, just go to the contact form on the very bottom of my site and send me a message there. And if you need any beats, go to the store. All the beats are there. I'm going to be uploading some more Brakence type beats so you guys can apply these vocal effects and just slap it on to the beats that you can get off the store. If you like it, put in the comment section what you want to see next, and that's it. But thank you guys for watching.
Faded. No, I'm not the type to let my heart beat still. I just need somebody who can keep me